Throughout the year, we've been working on the process of blending the seams of our transom where it's bonded to the hull. After filling, glassing, and then fairing, we were finally at the stage a few weeks ago of where we could apply gel coat. This was our third attempt at color matching, but as soon as we had sprayed it on, we were leaving for the Newport Boat Show and had to wait a week before we could get back to inspect it. Instead of going through the entire process of a wet sanding, Matt just wanted to go through with an initial sand to see if the color did in fact match before we put too much time and effort into this space. Face of a sad boy.
Yes, not a happy Matt. Got back from Newport. It was time to go through and polish off the gel coat and see what our results were. And you might be able to pick it up in the camera right now, but this is the gel coat that came out of the mold. So from Max Crews. Up here is the stuff I sprayed. We did use fairing compound kind of roughly in this area, but I was blending in the new gel coat with the old gel coat. So this part right here is over the top of the old gel coat. Trying to blend it in. If you can't see it in there, there's a very apparent color difference between the two. This is much lighter than what this is. I think the actual tone of color is right, but it just seems that this is considerably darker. In theory, we could add white gel coat to this and try to bring that down, but that isn't what we're going for. We need consistency, so I need to be able to spray it on all surfaces and have it perfect. We had sent this out, color chip out to get color matched. This is actually the third time that we've done it. 2 different companies. Third time that we've had it color matched. Every single time it's coming back darker, and I cannot figure out what the issue is. The companies that we're having do it are using the same type of thing as if you go to a hardware store and get color matched. It's a machine that goes through and analyzes the color and spits out the formula for it based on the white gel coat as to mix it. So I just assumed that was going to be a perfect match. No matter what, we were going to have perfect. Each time it's coming back darker, and I don't know really what the problem is what's causing that. But of course, that means that until we do get a good color match, I can't do the seams over here that we've already prepped or any of the other places that I need to do gel coat. Very frustrating. This is something that has been going on for months and months and months now.
And we're running out of the weather that we need.
We're running out of the weather that we need. We need it to be warm for gel coat. Typically it loves like that 75, 80 degree temperature. And it also means that the molds that I did for the hatches, each one of the deck hatches, most likely doesn't have the correct color on it then either. So this was done with gel coat that is from Vietnam. The company that produces the actual gel coat does not retail in the US, so it's something that I can't actually buy from them. Also, Max Crews can't send us gel coat because by the time it gets here, it needs to come ground, which means that it needs to come in a shipping container, which is typically hot, and gel coat has a very short shelf life. By the time they were to package it and ship it to us, it's not really going to be usable for very long. We need a lot of gel coat. So we need to get this color match figured out right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another color sample, another color chip. I am sending it to company number 3 now out of Texas and have them go through and try to figure it out. And hopefully we can find a place that is going to be able to match it, because I'm going to need tens of gallons of it to do things like, of course, the seams, those don't really require a lot, but the doors for the companionway, the helm setup, all of those things are going to require quite a bit of gel coat sprayed in molds, and we just don't have a good match yet. Yeah, just a ton of frustration now with that gel coat actually not matching, even though this is the 3rd time it's been color matched. It's just that shade off, and it's going to drive us absolutely crazy. So we sent out another sample to have that analyzed from a different company now. And so I've decided to give up and come and work on the interior while we still have some decent temperatures, specifically down in this bilge area. So this is where our shower ends up hiding. Right down here, if we look, this is the shower sump, or this is the pan right there, and that's going to drain from there through that little hole. The hose will then run to the back of the shower sump, which you can see goes kind of right there, and then pumps out here. So we need to have a hose from here going, and that's going to run in underneath here, and then up and out to a drain. So we have that part of it. This is one of those, the Vetus shower sump, which it's got a really nice pump in it, so we don't have to worry about that at all. But you still need to access the top of it, and inside of it, you need to be able to clean that out, because that's just going to accumulate soap scum, all that kind of stuff. So it's a good idea to have easy access. So I'm putting it right below the opening, so I can get to it real easy. On this side, we need to put in our fancy little force bar valves, the Flowtech valves. One of them is going to be mounted right here. This is going to be for waste, so the holding tank will empty here. If you notice, because of the shape of it, it actually the shape of the stem with this, that curve there, that shape. Once we mount it, and the hose is leading to it, it actually points right to where we want it to. So it's going to be a very, very good location for that. Set up there. That's going to go there. And then the debate is if we put one here. So we need to be able to install the through hull for the water maker. Now, consideration needs to come into that as to when that is going to be used and when we're going to be emptying the holding tank. Because of course we don't want the holding tank to be emptying and it being sucked up into the water maker. So that is why we're putting that through hull actually forward of it. So it's going to go maybe about a foot, probably 12 inches forward of that. And we hope that's good enough of a distance. When we're traveling at speed, of course, water's flowing past, it should go the other direction. And then when we're in harbor and we're making water, the holding tanks shut off anyway. So it's not pushing anything out at that point. So we don't have to really worry about it then either. So this is kind of a strategic thing. The original plan was to put the water maker aft, set up there, but the whole thing weighs about 110 pounds, so we want to make sure that it's as close to the center line of the boat as we possibly can have it, so it's not going to induce kind of hobby horsing at all, and I think this is going to be the best location for it. I haven't drilled the holes yet, but as of now, I think that's going to be a location. We'll have 2 through hulls right down here, both leading their pipes up, one for the water maker, one for the waste out of the holding tank, and then we'll have the other pipe coming from that shower sump, and that should be it there. So I'm thinking there, in that direction, and then there, and then there for the water maker, hopefully. Now, logically, the way that this filtration system works for the water maker, it's filtering out salt, not the biggest molecules at all. You would think that bacteria obviously can't really get through it. There is some porosity, there is a little bit of pores. That's the reason why it's not 100% efficient getting salt out. There's little pores that happen in there. And so in theory, when pushing the stuff through the pores, there could be a virus or bacteria that actually gets through there. But we're going to also shock the system and chlorinate the water in there. And it goes through multiple filters as well. So I would assume it's going to be okay. It's just that ick factor. Purely what makes sense in my mind. And the difference between a foot and 6 inches probably isn't going to make a difference at all for load. The fact that we are putting that seacock forward of it, it should be set. So I still don't know. We'll see. Haven't drilled the holes yet. It might make more sense to have, you know, one right about here and the other one right there. So they're very, very easy to get to. But that puts them probably 6 inches away from each other. I don't know. Maybe I compromise and make it 8 inches away. So divide it in half. Definitely one of those days when it's not fun to build a boat. So, it turns out that where I'm drilling is exactly where the foam supports are for the boat. You can see hull and then foam. Yay! So I don't know what that's going to mean right now. I don't know if it's worthwhile to install these through holes from this side at least and not go crazy with it. Do the rest of it later, which is a possibility. Since, if you guys remember how these things are set up, they get bonded into the hull. And then you go in from the outside. The only thing you really do from the outside is you shave off and grind back the stuff that sticks through there. So in theory, I could decore it from here and get it all set up for that and maybe be able to do it all from this side. It still makes me a little nervous without having access to the exterior to make sure that everything's going the way it's supposed to. But I also don't want to move the boat again. Yeah, that would be not real entertaining to have to move the entire boat just to get access to these. Boat building, yay! So here's the inside of that shower sump. As you can see, there's a little, this basically just triggers on the pump itself, and the pump is really big. So water flows in through here, comes in there. Once it fills up to a little bit, this is a switch that actually turns the pump on, and then once the pump gets triggered, then it comes out here. And the way these are set up is you can have it so sinks drain into them. We're not going to do that, of course. We can pump it directly overboard. Air conditioner, that stuff goes over. It can be pumped in this as well. So the important part with these shower sumps is having one with a good seal on it and a good ventilation for it, because they do get stinky after a while. It's just the soap buildup, that kind of stuff. Smells like kind of like a sink, but it does get a little bit nasty. So this particular one has a nice seal that goes around it, and then underneath here is a vent. Oops, see if you can see it. There's a vent here that just releases when the pump is on. So as the pump's running, the vent opens up to be able to pump everything out, so it doesn't create a vacuum inside this area. And then from there, it closes itself automatically, and so you don't get that odor, that smell going through it. That is what makes these Vetus very, very nice setups.
Back in the spring, we had gone through the project of removing the plywood forms, which came with our boat originally, and switched over to foam blocks. Not very hard of a task to lift the boat up with jacks and replace one material with the other. The trouble lies in keeping the boat level after making these adjustments. And now that Matt had drilled right into the foam, we knew we'd once again have to take on the task of raising the boat, moving the foam block aft, but making sure it came back down to rest at exactly the same place in which it had begun. While we've got Connor with us, we're using him for more than just painting some walls. There are a few things that require extra strength or extra sets of hands. So right now the guys are under the boat because where Matt drilled the hole for the through hole ended up in the foam block that supports it. So now we kind of have to like shuffle everything around, make sure the boat's level, and it sounds like they're having some fun down there. So let's go check and see what they're up to. Oh, you guys get fun with spiders.
You notice why I have them over on that side? That's where all the spiders are. They are black widows here.
There are actually black widows here. We've killed numerous ones. Alright, so there's the holes up there. It looks like you're moving it back just...
We are moving it back. So 2 block positions back. Basically a foot aft is what we're moving this.
Of course, now is the fun of keeping everything level. Do we have the line? Yes, oh, is that it?
We got the line there. Over the course of time, the stern has come down a little over 1/8 of an inch. So we're in the process right now. We're also going to do the other side, try to shim that out and get this back to level. Even though I made some of the interior of the boat based on level of now a little bit down in the stern.
Fun of leveling a boat is always my least favorite thing to do.
Yep. Man, you can't find good help.
What idiot!
Yeah, one job. One job.
As I tell Connor to watch out for spiders. I'm like,
yeah, now I'm freaked out.
laying in it.
Yeah.
You're a little corner.
I wish I knew that before I crawled through the ground over here.
Well, we weren't going to tell you that. You might not
Yeah,
do it
then I wouldn't have come.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what this bad boy does now. So we're going to bring her down. So watch out.
Oh, my leg!
And
We're a little high, aren't we?
yeah.
How much are you high?
I don't know, 2 millimeters, 3?
She's not centered.
Oh, I was gonna say we're really, really close to the line.
Yeah.
Oh, we're up. On the line. Oh.
Coming out.
Coming out.
You after.
Hello. Hello, world.
Plane cross. Do you ever watch Drug History on Comedy Central?
Hi, I'm Paget Brewster, and today we will be discussing Florence Nightingale, the mother of modern nursing.
We're holding for a plane.
Holding for plane.
Oh my God, we're holding for a plane.
Your to-do list.
Let's do it.
Number 1, sand the hanging locker here with 220 grit.
Okay, 220.
Get out of my frame.
The inboard cabinets with master head. Sanded. Gotta wipe them down and prime them.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna... Are you buzzing?
When I laugh, it vibrates.
Oh man, we're gonna get so many complaints about how it's not working properly. Alright.
So we've got this open. Now I can decore.
It's actually really satisfying because it's so quick and easy. So I go bottom, top, right, front, left, move on. It's a good rhythm.
So what you're saying is we can add more to your to-do list.
No! How much to do?
That foam support move. Now I finally have access to those holes, so it's time to decore them, get rid of that foam that's in there and the resin stuff, and give me a good bonding surface to protect the that. You're gonna want to keep your finger away, buddy. There's about to be blades flying through here. Yeah, to sit there and protect that area in case any water were to leak around that seacock. It is not going to get into the rest of the core and cause any issues whatsoever. But again, that's one of the benefits of this being a fully infused hull, is each one of these sections, those little blocks of foam is surrounded by resin, kind of a bridge around that whole thing, or a wall around the whole surface. So even if water were to get in here, it really can't spread far at all, or it shouldn't be able to spread far. Never say never. So that is why we're going through this effort, is to make sure that we have a good bonding surface, a good area to protect it.
After decoying the hull, it was time to clean the through hull and bond it in. To get the strongest bond possible, Matt mixed up thickened resin and added 1/4 inch top strand fiberglass to the mix. Both the through hole and the opening were coated. Once it was in place, Matt made sure all the gaps were filled and there were no open spots where water could penetrate through.
Matt doesn't know that I'm here because he's got earbuds in and I snuck in. So wait for him to freak out when he turns on his phone. Oh, I was just saying to the camera, I was like, Matt doesn't know I'm here.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yep, this one wasn't as bad as others. Alright, so getting ready to paint that with bilge paint, or no, barrier coats.
So just gonna put 2 layers of barrier coat as a really good Tide primer, a Tide coat in here. So we'll put that in there, and then 2 layers of the bilge coat, and that should be good for now. You in your little home. Oh, so pretty. I've now done 2 layers of barrier coat to protect that surface and make sure that nothing gets in there that can get into the foam or into the laminate. And then 1 layer of the total bilge. I'm going to do another layer as well, but I need to sand and prep this for that. We'll leave this area alone for now. Eventually I'll be able to come through and wire it and plumb it, but that's a couple of weeks away at least.
To pieces, yeah, I need it. Won't you bend them on?